Hey everyone, my name is William Walford here with Trucker Chalet. I first want to thank everyone that was able to make attendance. Today is going to be a little bit different. Normally, we do Thursday reviews or just exploring the philosophy of Star Trek in general on Thursdays, but today we're coming together to honor one of our own. Can you guys hear me? Oh, I'm sorry, Manny. Okay. Um, it's about Robyn Alyssa. Marie, what was her last name after Alyssa?
Peterson.
Peterson. Yes. Well, the details of how it happened are relevant at the moment, but she's gone on glory to make it short and sweet. Um, yeah. So I guess everyone can go around and talk about their interactions with her, or if not, what you personally remember about her. And in a few minutes, we'll actually play a video that I won't say that we all put together because there's a snippet from every single one of us that is here in this chat today. So, um, Jermaine, why don't you go first? Say something about Robyn. Say something nice.
I don't want to say what I repeated in the video.
Should we go ahead and
However, I
play the
will.
video first?
Well, why don't you? Up to you.
No. I'm asking.
Sounds like a good idea, but I do think that perhaps Manny might need to say something first.
That's right.
Oh, good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Jermaine. No, I also recorded something, so I don't want to say, and I'm not sure how that falls into the sequence, but thank you. Thank you so much. Um, Robyn Alyssa Peterson. I always like to say her whole name. I remember asking her, like, what's your last Robyn Alyssa? Is Alyssa your last name? No, I just like in the middle. I had a virtual meeting with her before we kind of knew her. At least I knew her, and it was for the what if, and I wanted to explore her mind about things. And it's rare to meet someone in this Trek space who it's rare. I'm not saying that it's not among us, but a rare who's just excited to talk about Trek, but is like super positive and like supportive and like no matter what level of Trek you're at or whatever. And that was how I thought of her. Whenever we talked, she was just super supportive. She was patient and kind and gentle. Whenever we spoke, she waited for her moment. She leaned back and said, "Oh, gathering with." I always tried to like include her. I'm like, "Robyn, do we?" And she would have this look of surprise, like I remembered her, and because I wanted to, because she was just happy to be there. She was just so happy to be a part of it, and you could tell that she put that joy on the page. She put it in with us. So I was um, really happy and excited to work with her. I'm mourning all the conversations I'll never have. I'm mourning all the days I will never get. And it's really shocking to know someone so briefly, so young, so good, and to lose them. Um, I was shocked. I still am shocked. I still have her on my. I'm looking through old notes that she sent me. I'm looking through old texts that she sent me. I'm looking through old stuff that and we talked about, and I can't believe that there's no one on the other end. So I'm struggling. I have struggled. I'm bumping into walls. I'm trying to move on, but it's been difficult. Uh, Go ahead, guys. I passed the baton.
Thank you for that. Um, okay. I think, unless anyone else has anything, this might be a good time to play the video. All right, take it away, Jermaine. Did you play last time?
So I agree with Will here. I think that the biggest change made to Voyager is that Year of Hell just kind of doesn't happen because, as you said, the whole thing that it's predicated on is Cass going back to tell Janeway, about, what happened and how they experienced that year. So I know, and I believe this is probably apocrypha, but Year of Hell was originally intended to be a season long.
Hello, Trekker's Delight. My name is Manhal Yunus, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about Robyn Alyssa. She was a wonderful person who I'll never forget, who blessed me and us with wonderful conversations, with patience, with kindness, with humor. She was quick with a smile and quick with her wit. She had a wonderful heart, and I was devastated by her loss, and I don't think we'll ever be the same. I just want to stay thankful for having gotten to know her, and for those who cared about her, they know what I mean. She was a wonderful, rare person, and I will miss her terribly.
You can do this on your show. This is my show now. Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think Robyn is our summary queen at this point.
I'm the summary queen? Oh, Lord.
This means we're going to have to make you a tiara.
Yeah, she's definitely the princess of the group. Like, we've established that.
Yes.
Is it wrong that I couldn't stop staring at the men's asses?
Yes. I was trying not to drink this episode. I was trying so hard.
Bet.
Not
okay,
go.
Cool. Yeah.
Not go. The original Teen Titans, right, was very popular with young women, right, and little girls. And that's the reason why. And that's part of the reason why it was canceled because, Cartoon Network at the time wanted to sell toys for Teen Titans to little boys. That was what they were marketing to. They didn't want to sell it to little girls. But the difference between that show and in the comics is a complete lack of sexualization in the characters, right? So you have lean bodies, lean kids who actually look like teenagers, rather than someone like Starfire, who in the comics looks like, and again, beautiful goddess Starfire in the comics. She looks completely different in this show. So Gene Roddenberry had his hand in the cookie jar in this entire episode, right? So
and now I have a really terrible image in my head, so thanks for that.
Dang. Dang. I was the innocent kid on this show.
Ooh, I got the Reese's on that one.
Make me open up my candy.
Made me drink my water.
So what we get is a confused episode that means nothing, does not make the point it is trying to make.
All right, Cameron.
I don't know. We sort of talk about Angel.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Wait, we are still recording.
Open out.
It says in recording.
Oh,
Bloops. Bloops.
I didn't know Robyn very well, but from what I did know of her, she was intelligent, insightful. She didn't care whether she was in the spotlight or not. She just loved being a part of the podcast because it made her happy. And, we enjoyed her company and her her insightful views and things of that nature on Star Trek and, you know, things of that nature. So from me to Robyn and, you know, her family, you know, thank you for being a part of the podcast with us, and I hoped that she enjoyed herself.
So, it's not me personally, it's my mom. So when my mom was in high school, so this was way back in like the 80s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s, she actually got into a NASA program here in DC, and they had a bunch of different guests. So I think they had Mary Johnson, if you guys have watched Hidden Figures. And they also brought in Nichelle Nichols. And to this day in my mom's house, I'll have to, hopefully I can find it so that I can bring it so we can add it to the production, you know, materials and stills and things like
please
that.
send me the photos, please.
But my mom and this group of other like 60 Black women that got accepted into this program, she has a picture with Nichelle Nichols. And to this day, part of the reason at least, my mom is a physicist, why I like Star Trek, why, you know, she instilled that in me and my brother, and that love is because of that interaction, right? Like,
It sounds really cliche to say that someone who's gone was a real light in the world. You hear it 1,000 times, but for Robyn, that was real. That light was everything from the brightness of her smile to the enthusiasm and energy she brought to everything she did with us. And I cannot express just how awful it is that that light is now gone. But I am deeply grateful, more than I can accurately convey, to have had the opportunity that I did to work with her and to get to know her and to laugh with her and to share in that light. And I hope to take that with me for going forward.
that little Enterprise would have been the show I started with, but my favorite is probably TNG, with a little bit with Deep Space Nine thrown into it. And then I've been binging with my beautiful partner who went to bed, but was making noise in the background. And you probably saw it in the kitchen over here. We've been watching TOS and Voyager as well. So we've been, you know, getting a little bit closer watching Star Trek because they've never seen it ever. Like this rewatch we're doing is their first experience with Star Trek. And I'm just over here going like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, we literally
DS9.
just named...
Jadzia is fine.
I mean, yeah, for real. Yes, but and so is 7. Let's also not ignore that.
So is 7.
Yeah, but now we need a segment. We need a segment with so that your partner can discuss their reactions.
They have very strong feelings. And
this is my shocked face.
And like digging up some like very weird Star Trek gems is great. Like I think the other night we were watching, I don't know, maybe Conspiracy, and then just having them experience it for the first time. And then me just going,
oh my gosh, the worm! Yeah. The worm! And it never comes back. Fortunately, somebody was like, yeah, no, that didn't work. Let's just out of the room.
Good evening. On this day, we remember Robyn and her contribution to Trekker's Delight and being a Star Trek fan. And I didn't get to know her all that well. I think I was only on a few video streams with her. But as always, anytime anyone this young is taken from this earth, it's always just a little too soon, especially for anybody who's, you know, getting to know the crew or getting to know the team or anything of that nature. And she always seemed like she had a really open mind, a really unique way of looking at things. She was definitely a dedicated and hardcore Trek fan. She had a way of looking at things just a little bit outside the box from what I could tell. And that was enjoyable. And I did enjoy the streams I was participating in with her and her comments. And while I didn't always see eye to eye, as I do with, quite a number of Star Trek fans, as we all see different with each other, it's the uniqueness that makes us and sets us apart from each other. So let's remember for her contribution and keep her loved ones in mind. And the one thing that I will say about this is anytime anybody's taken from us, we always have to look to the future. It's hard to move on, but it's also hard to look back and not know what we've missed. So as a person of faith, my perspective is a little bit different than most. And I would say this, as a person of faith who believes the Bible, who believes Scripture, make sure your heart's right. Make sure your soul is ready, because it could be your time. It could be someone else's time. And the only hope we have of seeing them again, from the biblical perspective, is to make sure that we are all in alignment with what God wants, and that our hearts are saved and we're serving Him. So, as a person of faith and as a Star Trek fan, may you live long and prosper. And to those who are family and friends of Robyn, I'm praying for you, and my hearts are out there for you. And I wish you hope for the future.
Hello, this is Jermaine Watson. I'm from Trekker's Delight. So the first time that I met Robyn, it was actually we were recording a show for Trekker's Delight. I don't remember if it was Fight the Patriarchy or Black Trek. Could have even been LGB Trek. But what I do remember about Robyn was she was so sincere, so forthright. She was also very sensitive, and most of all of her comments were very thoughtful and thought-provoking. I remember we were on a show. I must have known her a while at this point. I remember we were just talking, and then I said, "Hold on, wait a minute. Let me get my wine." And she said, "Hold up, wait. So we can do this?" and we started laughing at the fact that we were drinking wine. She'd been sipping her wine, but she didn't want anyone to notice that that's what she was doing. She was like, "Hold up, I can get the bottle." What I'm going to miss most about Robyn is her joy of life. And so here's to you, Robyn. Let's have some honorable mentions,
the honorable mentions.
Because we skipped over a lot because of time. Boom.
Oh.
Joffrey Woodard.
Yeah.
Look at that cut.
Yes. This was
that's
from
what
the
my hair looked like
Let me
when
go
I
back-
cut
let me
it.
Now we got Wrath of Khan here. I believe this is not Wrath of Khan. Search for Spot.
Frederick Douglass. I love it.
This dude hated his hair so much he shot himself.
Look, this man done freed the slaves. Let's give him his credit.
I'm just saying, he is so old. This man is so old. His social security number is 439.
He done set us free. He said, "Glory, he's going to the north, y'all."
Hello, Trekker's Delight. My name is William Wofford. I am the videographer of the group and assistant to Jermaine himself. I watched everyone's videos while I was making this, and I heard what everyone said. I watched how they felt. Normally, it would be easy for me to make a memorial video, but it is not easy when it comes to someone you love, someone you cared for, someone who was a light in your life. Robyn was a light in all of our lives. I call her my Trek sister because, in many ways, her and I are a lot alike. We share a lot of similarities, but it was our differences that make her special. So for that, Robyn, I thank you. I hope that this message finds the extended family well, and I know she's in a much better place. I know she is much happier. I know that one day when we make our own Star Trek show, for real, we're going to have the USS Alyssa or the USS Robyn. And it's going to have wings too, just like a Robyn would. We may not comprehend what comes after this life,
So basically, the point with the various scenes in the end is that you move on how you move on, you become what you become, but we will always remember them. And now, Robyn is definitely more than the sum of her parts. Thank you for the chat and comments. I appreciate that. And yeah. Was there anyone that anyone wanted to say that they didn't or might have forgotten to mention in their tribute video?
It's so hard to follow that video, Will. It really, really is. But, you know, I gotta tell you, so wherever she is so disappointed that we have had 0 Orion slave girls.
And as I was exporting that video, I was literally thinking, damn, I forgot the slave girls.
Oh, man.
Oh, this sheer
Oh. Even on the other side, Robyn.exe has encountered a fatal exception error. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Gotta have slave girls where she's at.
Right. And also
Yeah.
incredible 7 of 9 cosplays.
Oh, definitely. It's an endless Star Trek convention up there.
Right? You know, it's funny, like, when Jermaine put out this call, and none of us knew each other, I remember thinking, sure, what the hey, like, we'll see how this goes. And, I mean, it's been an incredible experience, and we've created almost a small little family here. Some of it's dysfunctional, some of it's great. and these two flip all the time. But I mean, I have never not been grateful for this. And I am grateful that it brought her into my life.
I feel the same way, Mark. Often. I know one of our other conversations thinking about this memoriam, the last time when we talked about this, I just wanted to remind, I had a very similar thing where when I wanted to be a part of this and when I get to know, like I had never, Jermaine will remember this about that, I had never had a conversation in my life with other Trekkers, ever. Trekker, Trekkie, blah, blah, blah. I never understood, you know, if there's one thing I'm known for, is that none of these things they're all nonsense to me. Like, we all just love Star Trek in different ways. We're all our own thing, you know, and that experience has brought us to this point. And just like Maria, I echo, like, we've become something more than the sum of our parts, right? There's a great TNG episode in the 7th season about the emergent properties of a group. This happens in biology as well. You know, what is cellular life? You know, I'm a biologist, of course. The parts of that machinery don't inherently give us consciousness. It's something else entirely. It's something emergent that comes from the organizational principles of those things together. And so we have also become something more. And we have been lessened. Part of us has been chopped off. And we mourn that. But also it's a reminder to hold each other tighter. We are all we have. And I love you all with open arms. Just like she did. She was quick with a smile and quick with a turn of phrase. But she was patient. It's one thing that I remember about Robyn. She waited for her moment. She gave people their space. It was beautiful. I love that part about her. She taught me more about choosing my moment.
But man, when she found that moment, like, it was incisive, right? Like, oh
True.
God.
You know, for starters, I knew Marie was going to say something about that skin tight yellow suit. I just knew she was going to say something.
About what? No.
The skin tight yellow suit.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that was coming.
I mean, it only came up all the time.
I mean, you did what you could with the money you had. I'll be honest, I almost included the transcendent scene from Lower Decks. But I think it's been a little bit.
No, your thing was on point. That was beautiful.
But I'll be honest. I wasn't intimidated by Robyn exactly, but I was a little jealous because she was younger than me, and I wanted to be the youngest one. I like it.
You often said that, yeah.
But her and I had conversation, and we were on other shows together. Her first week, she did 3 shows 3 days in a row.
That was a hell of a week, guys.
And she did it without batting an eye. She just did it. And
what was it? It was like FTP.
It was, I think, it was FTP, Alive, and Newsflash.
Yeah, because that was when we found out about the Nichelle Nichols thing with her mom.
Yeah.
It just kind of like, it was just one of those where she's like, yeah, now I can do this, and you know, her partner's in the back going,
right. I'm not terribly distraught over her passing because I do truly believe she is somewhere better, just like my mom is. But part of me still just, this whole thing is just one big elaborate joke. Because we've all known her for like 3 weeks to a month, maybe 3 weeks. And I felt appreciated by both for telling me, but to tell the news to everyone, every time I told another person, I would like hope like my head, this isn't real. But it is. And every time someone passes that I care about, even though Generations isn't everyone's favorite movie, can you hear me now? I still remember Picard saying, somehow I doubt that this will be the last ship to carry the name Enterprise. Which basically means life goes on. Okay. Someone else speak while I go grab the mic.
I got a book in a little bit. I'm sorry, so I'll give.
Yeah, no, you
right.
you have to go be a grown up. The rest of us are just gonna sit here and cry. So
No. I'll say this to like leave. I'm really just thankful to see you all, like, to be a part of this, to continue it. Seeing the scene with Cass was hard for me because of the conversation we had. I can't wait to see the quickening episode when that comes out. That'll be good when we shot that. It's always wonderful to meet someone who's reliably thoughtful. You know, like when you have the like not just a considered Trek opinion. Like she would listen and she would place the context of whatever I was saying perfectly, and she would say it in a way that I'd never thought of, which is like some of the best things that you can get from a good friend is like they help you consider things in a new and exciting way. Oh, I never thought about that. She was a great conversationalist. She was a great contributor to the conversation. It was very obvious how passionate she was about it. It was very obvious how much joy, to echo Marie's point about joy, that she had. Um, and I get angry sometimes. I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but I'm angry and I'm bitter.
It's okay to be.
Exactly.
That's
I
it.
think
It's just
yeah.
we've had a year of loss.
Was that it was preventable?
Yeah. And
Brandon?
go ahead.
Well, I think for something else too, and that is while we're doing this on YouTube, this is also in audio. So I think this line sequence, which is from one of my favorite episodes, fits quite nicely here. And it's something Miles Edward O'Brien says in Deep Space Nine. So I'm just going to read it word for word because I think it fits.
So Jermaine's alter
perfectly.
ego.
Basically, yeah, kind of sorts.
I'm here for it.
And this is straight from the script. So this is, if you watch the episode, you'll know what this is from. O'Brien says, "I never shook her hand, and I never saw her face, but she made me laugh, and she made me weep. She was all by herself, and I was surrounded by my friends, and yet I felt more alone than she did. We've grown apart, the lot of us. We didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. The war changed us, pulled us apart. And I'm going to insert a new name. Robyn was my friend. But you are also my friends, and I want my friends in my life, because someday we're going to wake up and we're going to find that someone is missing from this circle. And on that day, we're going to mourn. And we shouldn't have to mourn alone. To Robyn and the sweet sound of her voice."
That was beautiful, man.
And I do remember that episode.
Distant Voice, I believe.
I don't remember the name of it, but
It's actually called The Sound of Her Voice. It was the episode.
Sound of Her Voice.
You know full well Brandon knows the name of the episode.
And on that
Brandon
note,
constantly gets on us for not remembering the name.
I gotta say goodbye. I love you guys.
Love you too,
I'll see
Manny.
you later.
yeah.
Manny,
You have
thank
a
you
good
for
one.
coming.
Yep.
Have a good day, Manny.
But it's always difficult to have to say goodbye to somebody, and even more so when it's somebody that you know and you care about. And I mean, I've known a lot of loss in my life, and it never gets any easier. But the only thing you can do is just try to remember them and hope that wherever they are, they have it better than we have it here. And that's my 2 cents.
Are you sure Robyn didn't reincarnate as a cat that I'm hearing right now?
I mean, you remember like the cat fights
Gentry
that would
is
happen during when she was like filming. So this is kind of very appropriate, really.
yeah. Sorry, my cat Gentry is being needy. He's being a daddy's boy right now.
So we have Gentry, we have Chungus. Brandon.
I mean, Chungus's name is actually Maddie. It's just that there's so much of her. I figure she needed another name.
Did Robyn have a cat?
Yeah, she had two. Remember? You know, Trek and cats. Like this is a thing.
Trek, cats, and alcohol. Yeah.
Right. Right. I mean, you know, she used to drink and know things and wrangle cats.
With the exception of me and Jermaine. Well, no, he drinks. That red wine from Walmart.
So I got to give mad props to Jermaine because, like, I would never have met Robyn because, like, she appears in Discord and I'm like, who the heck is this Oreopandi person? And she's like, I'm coming to fight the patriarchy. I know, right? And I'm like, she's like, I'm coming to fight the patriarchy, and I'm like, we're about to do code of honor. This is gonna be a thing. Because I'm like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I remember like messaging Jermaine, like, what? Who? How? So clearly what the takeaway is here is that I need to have just faith in Jermaine. That this is gonna be fine. And then, you know, she had technical difficulties that first time when we're kind of like trying to get everybody on, and then she pops up, and then, you know, there's that big smile and, you know, the locks and the teacup and everything, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can work with this. I can work with this. And I was like, so we're gonna drag her for every single show that week. And I can't believe that she was game for it because she, like Brian, is on Eastern Standard. Oh my god! And she's just like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I'm too old for that. Oh man,
it's fine.
It's cool. Like seriously, like we did in fact have an entire episode where she was like, "Hold on, I gotta duck out because there's something going on." I mean, I can't believe. I mean, she was such a trooper too, because even after their apartment building burned, like she was still willing to podcast from her mom's house using her phone as a hotspot.
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that one.
Yeah, is that the one that I was in where she was eating a bowl of soup?
Yeah, I think that was one of the last episodes that she did.
Yeah.
Because remember, there was she made that announcement. She's like, things are gonna look a little bit different, and we're all like, why? And she's like, oh, because, you know, fire.
Brandon, your cloaked cup is right there in front of your face, dude, and I'm here for it.
So.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of interesting if you could add like a special effect to that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. It's hard for me to pick a favorite memory because I went through as much Traeger's Delight footage as I could. Too many.
Honestly, I do want to add this. Like the best moments were the moments that we weren't recording.
Yeah,
we were just talking. You know what I'm saying? And those are the moments that I really like. There were some things that like I remember I was in the background for most of the episodes that you showed. I didn't remember that until you showed it.
The happy birthday thing.
I had forgotten
about
that.
I know. Like Will was talking about this, and I was just like, "Was I there for that?" And he's looking at me like, "Yeah." I'm going. It must be the early onset Alzheimer's. But I mean, and there was an amazing show we did on Angel One. And even though the Angel One show was really solid, like the show that didn't get recorded was so much better.
Oh, that's right, because we talked for like an hour and a half.
Right?
And we never recorded it.
Right? And then all of a sudden we're like, crap, like, we've got to go, like we've got to do this. And that was one of the ones where like we're filming Angel One and it's like 2:00 in the morning for Robyn and she's like, I'm a little punchy.
Speaking of punchy, who's gonna take over her dating service?
I know, right? I know.
I just want to know.
She was.
I think that requires a bit of elaboration on y'all's part.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because that's got to be an inside thing.
Oh no, she was fully,
she made it clear,
intending to rectify Will's chronic singlehood, and was apparently engaged in interviewing potential candidates up in DC.
I don't
Fair
know
enough.
if you guys will be able to hear this, but I'm gonna play a clip.
Because she's like, basically, she was like, I know your type. I also really need to get you away from broken little Orion boys.
I thought he was cute. I thought he was cute. Just like I thought the green motherfucker from with the 2 tentacles on the back of his head, I thought he was cute too.
Yeah, and I feel very comfortable that Robyn is prodding me to go, no, sweetheart.
You've brought this upon yourself, Gentry.
It's just awful, right? Like, I mean, she was so young. I mean, I'm kind of like Maddie. I'm, like, mad for all the conversations we're not going to have, all the shows we're not going to do, all the kids she's not going to teach.
Oh, yeah. She wanted to be a teacher. How close was she to finishing her master?
I mean, she had finished. She was getting there. Like, I think she was going into comps.
All right.
I'm gonna play this video real quick. I pray you guys can hear.
Wait, seriously, why do you put yourself in a shitty universe? Like, why? Because I do not know. I'm single and I'm sensitive. So, oh my god. So if you were to get into this week, LGBT, you have at least William time journey of some affection. So, comments time and leave a number. I really do. Like, since we are the topic, I can give something here now.
Okay. So basically, Robyn's dating service is basically feeling sympathy for William for having a crush on Star Trek characters he's never going to get.
One of them who happens to not exist anymore.
Which
Trip
one?
Tucker the third. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, he remembered.
We did. That's right. Brian was here for that. We had the whole conversation about Southern Men
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah. Trip.
Hey, I'm from Brinkley, middle of nowhere, Arkansas, and Trip had my name written on his chest.
Did he now? Did he now?
Charles Tucker the third.
But what I
You can call him Trip.
is where did Robyn's love of slave girls come from that are green?
I don't think that had anything to do with the fact that they were green. I think that had everything to do with the green. Like, do you remember she said she had the mind of a 16-year-old boy? She's like, I see tits, and I'm like, woo!
I even told her that I would mail her the attendant's skin tight leather uniform from the Mirror Universe.
No, honey,
And she
you
said,
didn't. That is not what you offered to mail her. You offered to mail her a slave girl, and she offered to pay postage. Oh God.
She was the Trek sister. She was the baby sis. She was the princess. She was.
And I'm so mad. I am so mad we did not get a chance to do Drunk Trek where we had to take shots every time sheer fucking hubris lady showed up.
Why does this explain Jermaine so perfectly? It's like Daddy is disappointed in all of us.
Oh man, we have made Odon Riker mad. Like, I mean, that is the face of a judging Trill.
Oh man. Man, when you make a Symbian mad, that's like 700 years of mad.
Oof.
Now that's mad.
Oh man. And like one of the things that she said on Black Track was when she was talking about her personal journey for self-acceptance and how that manifested in her acceptance of her locks. And my impression was that had only recently concluded. And I have to say I'm glad that she found that.
I believe, yeah. To piggyback on that, she said she used to get her hair done like every 3 weeks. But at this point, it was every few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
She, I mean, respectfully to everyone else, she didn't come on lives that much. Because she was in school and apparently the apartment on fire. So I'm sorry. That you always learn more about a person after they pass than when they're here. When did this fire happen?
Yeah, it was like right before that last show.
Does everyone recall their last moment they spoke with Robyn, even in passing?
I mean, for me, I think it was on that show. We exchanged some, like, in between, like, the conclusion of the show and then, like, whatever, I attempted to do some, like, make some activity on her Facebook page, but by that point, I'm pretty sure when that was occurring, she was on life support.
Oh my God. So I just went back and I was just reading messages and I looked at a message that she sent.
I'm sorry?
She and I were corresponding as late as the 30th of December.
The last time I spoke to her was the 28th. So she was awake even then.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about a picture because she was going to do the bios for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And
She
I
loved
had
doing that.
What'd you say?
She loved recapping on stories, and she always spoke about how she wanted to do the bios for everyone.
Yep. And she was going to take over social media.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to work together. She even told me she knew how to edit videos too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had a film background.
Did she ever say why she wanted to become a teacher?
I don't know if she ever said why. I think Marie probably has a better memory than me. I just remember her saying that she was a teacher, and I think maybe you, Will, had mentioned it either that day or maybe the day before, and I was like, oh wow. But she just seemed to be like a jack of all trades. Like she was
She had her fingers in all kinds of pies. And like my mom, you know, that whole sequence when mom was just like, I need y'all to finish up so I can go to bed over Christmas. My mom was devastated, actually. She's like,
Your mom got to meet her.
Yeah, she got to talk to her because remember that was that whole conversation where like mom was exposing exactly how few fucks she has to give about anything.
And she was a teacher.
She is. She is still in the classroom, and she was bonding with Jermaine and Robyn about it. And I told her what happened, and she was just like, "That's not." She's like, "That's not possible. That's not possible." I mean, she was so lively, and I'm like, "I know." So my mother put her on the prayer list.
Thank you. Brian, Brandon, you guys have any, I know you didn't work with her that much, but do you have closing remarks or anything that you want to say before we close out?
Yeah.
One of the things that stands out to me a lot about Robyn and that I always loved is her enthusiasm for the what ifs. Like the amount of off the wall, out of the box, just totally, oh, well, this kind of aligned with my thought processes on a lot of that. And it was enjoyable to see someone running down the rabbit holes.
Yeah,
along the same
refreshing.
trail. Exactly.
Yeah, because she was legit gonna go down that rabbit hole. Like there was no moving that train, guys.
Exactly. And it's that kind of rabbit holing, that kind of train of thought that I enjoy conversing with. So anytime that we were in the chat or discussing things after or before the shows and just watching that, it was enjoyable. You know, the what ifs that she's in that I wasn't a part, I didn't get a chance to be a part of, are actually really, really neat. Just the enthusiasm. So I just love the when you can think about different aspects of things that just it's completely uncommon. I love that kind of thought process, and she had that in spades.
Yeah, I think for me, like I said, I didn't know her all that well either. I think I've only had the one episode with her that I can remember, and but while we were doing that episode, you know, she was insightful, she was funny, she had that spark about her, you know. It's like, you know, even when everybody else could be like down in the dumps, and she could bring you out of it. She was that kind of person.
It was infectious. Like that
It
energy.
really was.
I mean, it was just infectious. And I know we're running close on time. You know, in the event that her partner does get a chance to watch this, really, I think the only thing we can say is, you know, we grieve with thee.
Hear, hear.
Agreed.
My final thoughts is going to be really simple. She was the personification of love and light. Everything that she did exemplified both. She spoke with love, and she radiated her light. And I'm going to miss it.
Robyn shared the same birthday as my cousin who grew up with a sister. Growing up, I was an only child, but in my family, I was literally the only Trekkie besides my mom. So I didn't have siblings who loved Star Trek or cousins because they just didn't exist until Robyn came out. Thank you, Robyn. That's it for our memorial episode today. Brooke, we're here for you. Please message us, call us, and let us know what we can do for you. Anything. We love you, and thank you for everyone being today.
Absolutely.